This is the PR Podcast, a show about how public relations helps you tell your story to the world. We talk with great PR practitioners who have the skills, creativity, and just plain savvy to get their clients noticed. Now here's your host, Jody Fisher.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the PR Podcast. I'm Jody Fisher. Thanks for joining us. Well, don't forget to tune in to our YouTube channel. That's right, you can watch episodes of the PR Podcast as well as listen to them. And it's a lot more fun to watch them, I think. If you're watching this right now on YouTube, you're noticing that we're not in the PR garage, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But just go on YouTube, search the PR Podcast, because there's only one The PR Podcast. And watch your favorite episodes as well as listen to them on your favorite podcast platform. Well, now let's get on with our show for today. We've got an awesome guest. Dana Arschin is a 3-time Emmy award-winning journalist and the first ever storyteller for the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center of Nassau County. She spent 6 years reporting and anchoring at Fox 5 News here in New York and previously worked at News 12 The Bronx in Brooklyn, where she earned her first Emmy and multiple New York Press Club awards. Today, as the local reporter, Dana shoots, writes, narrates, and edits broadcast-quality video segments that spotlight local businesses and individuals using her social media expertise to help expand their reach. Her work is also deeply personal. Dana is the proud granddaughter of a Holocaust survivor. In 2018, she traveled to Poland to explore her family's history, creating the Emmy-winning short film, The Forgotten Camps. She's a Long Island native, just like me. Well, I'm not a Long Island native, but you get the idea. She's also fluent in Spanish. She's got that above me for sure. And in her free time, she enjoys flying trapeze, playing sports, and spending time with her husband and 2 young daughters. Dana, welcome to the PR Podcast.
Thank you. What an intro. As I'm going through everything, I'm like, I think that's accurate. I think that's accurate. Thank you so much, Jody, for having me.
Thank you. You and I have been friends for a long time.
We have, and I have the best girlfriend, Jody, too.
That's
who
right.
You also know.
We were just on the phone with Jody Goldberg from Channel 5.
Hi, Jodes. Love you. But thank you. We really go way back, and I'm a big fan of what you do. You are very effective at your job, but you do it in a way that people can relate to you. And I think that's why we hit it off. So
that's very nice. I appreciate that.
Of course.
You have got some heavy credentials. Tell us about how you got into reporting and a little bit about your reporting career and your background.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of a long story. I'll try to simplify it. So I actually wanted to be a behind-the-scenes writer. And I applied for an internship at NBC to be on like the SNL show or the Conan show, which was there at the time, to be behind the scenes, to learn how to write for shows. And NBC called me, I think it was my sophomore year of college, and they're like, congratulations, you got the internship, you're gonna be in the newsroom. And I was like, I don't know anything about the news. And it wound up being the most incredible internship. I was at the desk at the assignment desk at 30 Rock at NBC. And then I also got to shadow reporters in the field, in the city, and on Long Island. And I just fell in love with the idea of every day you get to wake up and you have no idea where you're gonna travel to, who you're gonna meet, what you're gonna be an expert on that day. And I went back to school and was like, I'm gonna be a news reporter. And how I made that happen was a long story. You know, everyone says you can't get your first job in New York. It's a #1 market, it's impossible. I stalked a few people from my grad school alumni program and got them to get me an internship at News 12. And from News 12, I got my first job at News 12 in the Bronx and Brooklyn. From there, I met a lot of people and networked and eventually got a job at Fox. And here I am. And they're waiting here with our food. You can come bring it over.
Oh, bring it on in. Yes, please.
We're gonna eat and talk and everything.
Come on in.
So
yes.
I should say we're at Tappan Beach at Sunset Club at Tappan Beach,
awesome.
right? Where we're eating lunch and filming this podcast. I'm good friends with John Perfetti, the owner here. And we're gonna have just like a fun, casual conversation.
This is the first in a number of ways, right? We've never done an on-location shoot for the PR Podcast.
Oh.
Usually I'm always in the studio in the PR garage.
I'm flattered to be your first.
And we've never had lunch on the PR Podcast either. So
Are we gonna eat and
we're
everything?
breaking
I
things
love
out
it.
here, right? We'll grab one of those. Thank you so much.
And we're in Seacliff right now, and I love supporting this business because the owner, John, is so nice. I mean, what's better
This
than
is
being on a
beautiful,
beach?
right?
And the food's really good.
Spectacular,
Yeah.
spectacular. Let's jump back to your reporting career. Working in a newsroom, working out in the field, being a reporter, or even being a producer or whatever job you're doing there in that newsroom environment. That's like a dog years education in
Yeah.
news, right?
Yeah.
You get thrown right in and you're working from the first beat. Tell me about that.
I mean, so when I started in the Bronx, I was a one-woman show, shooting, writing, narrating, editing, and driving myself everywhere. I used to literally be stopped at red lights writing my script because there was just not enough time in the day to make deadline, and sometimes multiple deadlines a day. So and I did that for 6 years. So when you do that job for 6 years, everything is cake after. I mean, going to Fox and having a camera crew and an edit crew and a makeup person and a hair person, I mean, it was literally life-changing, and it felt so easy compared to my one-man band roots. But I'm so happy that I had that experience, and I actually love shooting and editing so much that when I eventually left Fox on the best of terms, I just kind of wanted to have more time for my girls and start my own company. I'm now back to my one-woman show roots. I shoot, write, narrate, edit, and drive myself. I do documentaries on Holocaust survivors. I interview them and then put together 3 to 10 minute long documentaries, so very short, as a way to make them relatable and easy to watch and easy to educate. And then I also, as you said, started a side hustle called The Local Reporter, and I create news type segments on local businesses as a way to showcase them and let community members know about the business that exists right in their own towns. And I didn't expect it to do so well. I have like 12 clients already in just a few months, and it's just been great. And I promote the stories all over social media, so community Facebook pages, Instagram, YouTube, my website, you name it.
Let's talk about some of the transferable skills, right, that you brought from your news career into the jobs that you're doing now. There are things that have translated across the spectrum, whether that's technical skills, personal skills. What kind of things have served you well over these transitions?
So I've always kind of been the person that just knows how to work a room, and I shouldn't say work a room, I genuinely love meeting and talking to people. Like, nothing makes me happier. So that helped a lot as a journalist. Just how you and I, we just couldn't stop talking and hit it off right away. So that helps a lot because I need to always network. I'm always meeting people. Oh, you're a Jew? You're from Long Island? Do you have any descendants of Holocaust survivors in your family? And all of a sudden, I have another interview lined up. So yes, these skills of being able to just stop people on the street and interview them because I need a random soundbite, or just being able to feel comfortable introducing myself, it helps a lot in what I'm doing now. And yes, the technical skills, everything I learned at News 12, how to edit like that and how to shoot like that really is the reason I think I'm so successful in my current career, so it's helpful. And I'm a perfectionist. I prefer to work at work. It's bad, but...
You and me both, right? We've got that little cowboy DNA in us. The technical skills specifically have probably changed so much. Going back to videotape, then to digital.
Yep.
Now we're shooting this on iPhones, right? And you shoot digitally a lot as well.
I do, yeah. So I do my like big, long professional interviews on like a real hardcore 4K camera, but all my B-roll, all the extra video, I shoot on my phone, and it looks so much better, I think, in 4K in cinematic mode, and it's just been amazing. It has changed a lot, but I love learning. I cannot tell you how many YouTube tutorials I have watched to teach myself the new Final Cut Pro, because I learned on a different Final Cut version, and it is night and day difference. I learned how to edit tape to tape back in the day, which is like big cassette tapes So I've learned it all, but I kind of just find it fascinating. I'm excited. Like, it doesn't intimidate me the way my dad would be very intimidated by technology. Really? Yes. But I want to take a bite of the burger.
Yeah, let's jump in on these tacos. Now, what are you eating?
I got a blackened chicken burger with some cheddar. It's not kosher. And I got a salad instead of fries to try to be somewhat healthy. What about you?
All right, I'm in on the blackened fish tacos. So I'm going to take a bite here. Let's just take them.
What do you think?
Oh my.
Really good?
That is something special. I like that.
Really good chicken too.
And you can't leave any guacamole behind.
I know.
You've got to go in on that.
Best part, for sure.
Now.
Thank you for lunch, by the way.
Oh, you're very welcome. Now let's talk about the types of work that you do, because when you left the newsroom and you left Channel 5, Fox, you segued into something that was also very personal for you. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so my grandfather passed away in December of 2023 at 101 years old, just 2 months shy of his 102nd birthday. He was an Auschwitz concentration camp survivor, and I'm very aware of the fact that I would not be here today if not for his perseverance and will to survive. He was put to hard work, to hard labor for nearly 5 years. Poland was the first country to be invaded in 1939, and he was in multiple forced labor camps, 2 years in Auschwitz, a ghetto. Both of his parents and 5 of his siblings were murdered, including a 7 and 8-year-old brother and sister. And I was very lucky that at Fox I had the chance to start a Holocaust series there. And I traveled to Poland and put together some short films when I got back. And one of the reasons I left news was because I was feeling so fulfilled and inspired by the work that I was doing on the Holocaust that got to a point where I kind of only wanted to do that type of work. So I started my own production company called DJK Communications, and I create Holocaust documentaries exclusively for the Holocaust Memorial and Tolerance Center on Long Island, which is in Glen Cove. It's an incredible education center that a lot of people don't even know anything about. We're not so heavily trafficked as a museum, even though we'd love to be, and we have wonderful exhibits, but really more than anything, we're an educational center. So our education team brings Holocaust survivors and second-generation survivors, children of survivors, and volunteer educators to students all across Nassau and Suffolk counties. So we're doing very, very important work, and for me, I feel like it's my obligation to keep my Poppy's legacy alive and the stories of all these survivors and victims.
As the years go on, fewer and fewer Holocaust survivors are around to share their stories. I feel like you are playing a very important role in permanently documenting those stories for people who will come, let's make it up, 20 years from now, who won't have the benefit of even being able to meet a Holocaust survivor.
And I feel that pressure and that stress also because there's not enough time, but there's still about 14,000 survivors just right here in New York. And it sounds like a lot, but it's not. There are 9 million people in the entire city of New York. So it's not, and the clock is ticking for me to get to all of them. I interview right now about 1 survivor every week. I got to a point where I was doing up to 3 survivors a week, and mentally I could not handle it. So I try to take the pressure off. And my husband the other day, he said to me, he was like, there's no way you can get all 14,000 anyway. So take the stress off and you'll do it week by week. And I appreciated him saying that because it helped me. But I interviewed a survivor who passed away 3 days after our interview. And he was only 82. He seems so strong to me. And I say only 82, but most of our survivors are in their 90s or hitting 100. I had another survivor die just a few weeks later. Actually, I've had multiple survive just weeks after my interviews with them. So nothing is more powerful and meaningful to me than to be able to know that I capture their story.
It's really important work that you're doing, and
Thank you.
I'm personally so glad that you're doing it.
Thank you. And you're not Jewish, right?
I'm not, no.
And I have so many
But
non-Jewish...
but I guarantee you there's someone along the line who was.
That's fair. But I have so many non-Jewish friends who have brought me on their shows or their podcasts, or who are so interested in this topic, and it means so much to me and to my family to have allies like you who care so much. So thank you.
Well, and let's call it out. This is factual history. Factual history, especially today, must be preserved because there are too many people who want to change factual history for their own purposes. Let's just leave it at that.
I appreciate you saying that.
And we need to push back on that as news people, as reporters, as people.
Yeah.
We need to push back on people who want to change the facts of what actually happened.
Yeah.
And there's no better way to do it by talking to the people who were there.
It was a really interesting time for me to leave news with the conflict in the Middle East. It would have been a really difficult time for me to report, and I don't know if I'm lucky or if it would have been better for me to still been there during the war. But
well, it sounds like you've taken up a new banner.
Yeah.
And doing excellent work. This is going to be a hard pivot, but let's pivot into the other thing that you do with the local reporter.
Yes.
Tell us about how that idea came around and where the inspiration was from.
So I'm very entrepreneurial, even though I've always worked in like corporate jobs, as you know, in the reporting industry. And but I always I started a food blog like over a decade ago, and I always had these ideas. And I was thinking like, what would I love to do if I always have a backup plan. It's how I work always. What would I do if my documentaries didn't work out? And I was like, I love telling community stories. It's what I did my whole career. So I'm like, how can I do something where it's not just making a living, it's actually helping other people at the same time. So just for fun, I recorded a selfie video saying I'm starting a new business. It's called The Local Reporter. I'm gonna create news segments, exactly same quality, same narration, with same reporter voice that you would see on the news, but instead of airing it on TV, I'm gonna post it all over community Facebook groups. And I have to tell you the reason also I had this idea. I always had the idea, but I didn't think anyone would actually go for it. And somebody said they were looking for a contractor in one of the community Facebook groups, and I posted a picture saying I had a great experience, and my contractor told me he got 65 phone calls from that one post. And these community Facebook groups, they all want to support one another. Everyone where I live in Port Washington, we're all we're Port Strong or Pride in Port, and everyone wants to help the local businesses. And so I reached out to the local business improvement district and the community Facebook groups just to see if in my own town if they would be receptive to me doing this, and they all opened their arms and said come on in. And so I post and they're getting 20,000 views and more across all platforms, and every single person has told me that either business, exposure, following on social media have all increased tremendously. And listen, I'm not gonna lie, having the Emmys and the Fox name kind of helps me be a little more reputable to, compared to other influencers. And I understand that I have that advantage, and I'm very fortunate to have that background. But they trust me, and it's been good. And I know you were watching my videos this morning. Did you see the one on the pizza place where?
Yes.
So I just started that. I'm like, you know what? I want to have a more casual option also. And that was literally just messing around on my phone. I did that for free for this guy. He just opened. I'm like, I'm going to record you. And he told me, he literally wrote up a testimonial. He was like, please post this on your page. That business tripled that week. So, yeah.
And you talk about ROI. I mean, that's in the PR business. That's always been the sticky wicket, is the ROI.
Yeah.
And how you translate a hit on Fox 5 News, local Channel 5 Fox News, into, well, how many impressions, or how many people bought our widget, or how many people gave money to our nonprofit. And it's been a challenge historically in PR.
You have to understand.
What you're doing provides some real metrics.
It does, but clients also, and I always say I can't guarantee anything, but you have to invest to see any type of return, right? And sometimes, you're not gonna have immediate business, but now the whole town knows about you. So how do you know over time that's not gonna trickle? And so I always say I can promise a lot of exposure, I can't promise business, but lately business has been working for these clients, so it's been good.
So great. And it's great to hear you tell the story of your career trajectory and how you've landed in a place where you are making a difference, this tangible difference.
I'm still a reporter.
And you're still doing what you love.
I saw so many people leave and go into real estate or fashion blogging and all things that they're passionate about. But I was like, how can I keep this skill set that I've worked so hard for? And here I am.
It's a fantastic
and
business.
I want to work with you somehow.
Oh, we definitely will.
We
will figure out a way. We've known each other too long to not figure out a way. Well, Dana, this has been a great conversation.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. If you've listened this whole time, I really appreciate it. And I hope you're not too jealous that we're out on the beach right now. You can come join.
We are out on the beach, and we're having a great time. But we are not done with you yet. We are going to segue now into the rapid fire question portion of our podcast.
I'm not prepared for this. Okay.
Well, this is where we steal a page from inside the actor's studio. We ask our guests a series of rapid fire questions meant to elicit a simple answer, maybe a laugh or two. Dana, with your indulgence, here we go with rapid fire question number 1. What is your favorite news source?
Oh, wow. This is a really bad answer, but Instagram.
More and more
And you
when
know
I
what?
ask
It's
this.
actually the truth, but I don't even, if it wasn't, I don't even think I would tell you anyway. But it is Instagram.
More and
Things are
more
so
when I ask this
political this
question,
day,
people
these days.
people choose social media
I really get everything
as a
on Instagram.
news source, which is very interesting to you and me,
Well,
right?
not really. I'm the local reporter who's putting out news stories on Instagram. So
There you go. Well, let's see if now if your answer to number 2 is any different. What is your rapid fire question number 2? What's your favorite social media platform?
Instagram is how truly I earn a living. I would not make money without Instagram.
Awesome. Rapid fire question number 3, a little more fun. Coffee or alcohol?
I have never had a cup of coffee in my entire life, but I'm also not a big alcohol drinker, but I would rather a glass of wine over coffee.
All right, maybe we'll grab some iced tea to go with our lunch here. Rapid fire question number 4. What's your favorite on-the-run food? You were a reporter, you're out in the field, what's in your bag?
Oh my God, so this is so unhealthy, but when I worked the 2:30 a.m. shift for Good Day New York, every single morning I would get a croissant. I can't eat like that anymore. My metabolism doesn't work like that anymore. I'd get a croissant with egg, cheddar, avocado every single day.
That sounds good.
It was really good and really fattening.
All right, and rapid fire question number 5.
But I love pasta. That's my favorite food.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
a big carb girl, yeah.
Nice, okay. And are you a runner?
I run, yeah. I try to work out. Right now I'm working out like 3 days a week, but I do F45, this like, do you know what that is?
I do, yeah.
Like a CrossFit type class.
I get
run.
I get the texts and the emails, and I'm thinking about going in myself.
But I'm like a 3-mile runner. I run for exercise, like 25, 30 minutes.
Love it.
What about you?
All right, I am a Peloton guy. So the Peloton's down in the basement, and I'm on that every morning.
I have one too.
Yeah.
I don't use it as much
I love
as I should.
All right, last one, rapid fire question number 5. What do you want to be after you finish this career?
Wow. I told you I always have a backup plan, but I have like 3 full-time jobs at the moment. I haven't even told you everything that I do. So, so if you would have asked me a long time ago, I would have told you a trapeze artist. Maybe owning a trapeze.
Ooh.
A flying trapeze.
You and I both know there's a local trapeze business
I
here on Long
know,
Island.
I know. I used to work for them back in the day.
There you
I
go.
fly trapeze. Go visit them.
That's right. We'll give them a little plug in the credits
Yeah.
too. Dana, this has been a great conversation. Thank you again. Please let people know how they can find you and the local reporter online.
Yes. It's my handle on Instagram is the.local.reporter. Dana Arschin is Dana_Arschin, ARSCHIN. I have a food blog, Chow or Never, CHOW_OR_NEVER. And you could find me on all the other social media platforms as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
I really appreciate it.
And thank you everyone for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the show. Connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at The PR Podcast, and send us a question or a comment. Our intro is by Christopher Apple. You can find him and his fantastic photography on Instagram at Christopher_APPOLDT. Check him out there and hire him for all your photography needs. You can find me online at Jody Fisher on all the socials and on the web at jodyfisherpr.com. We'll see you
Jody
next
with
time.
a Y.
Jody with a Y. We'll see you next time on the PR Podcast.